Good morning. My name is Jennifer, and I am going to show you how to make a mustard seed Gouda. Mustard seed Gouda is supposed to have a tangy, sweet pop of flavor, a little bit of a crunch with the creamy, rich Gouda. So this is something from the Netherlands. I've never had it. We'll see if this is something that becomes a staple for us too. Right here I have 8 gallons of full fat milk. I added a quart of store-bought heavy cream because we're calf sharing and the mamas hold back for the calves. So the calves get all the cream and we get the milk that doesn't have all the cream, which is a bummer, but it's fine. So with this recipe, it calls for heating the milk to 80 degrees, which I've already done. And now I'm going to add 2 cups of clabber that I've cultured. Clabber is raw milk that has been left to sit out on the counter and thicken up. And it is full of all kinds of good bacteria, and it is an excellent culture for your cheese. You can culture thermophilic or mesophilic cheeses. This is a mesophilic cheese. It's great. This was in the fridge since yesterday. Yeah, it smells good. It's 80 degrees, and I'm going to put this in now and then raise the temperature to 90 degrees, then cut the heat and let it ripen for 20 minutes. That's a very fast ripening for this cheese. All right, we're at 90, and I'm not shutting this all the way because it's actually so full that the lid is floating on the milk. So I'm just gonna go like that so it stays upright. I'm adding calcium chloride because I added store-bought cream, pasteurized cream. About a 1/4 teaspoon per gallon of milk. I'm gonna do 1.5 teaspoons, just enough to bolster it. This is my homemade calcium chloride. Dilute this with a little bit of tap water and add it to the milk. So full. This rests for 5 minutes. It's 1 teaspoon of rennet, diluted in a little bit of tap water. And I can see it starting to thicken right now. So this rests for 30 minutes. It says between 1 and 3 teaspoons per every 2 gallons of milk. I'm going to do 1 tablespoon per every 2 gallons of milk, which is 1/4 cup, maybe slightly rounded. Then you cover with water and bring this to a simmer just to kill off any contaminants. All right, it has simmered. Mustard Gouda comes from the Netherlands. They spice their Goudas because they say that their lunches will be boring otherwise because they have Gouda all the time, so you gotta put something else in it. Oh, look at that, nice ledge. It's a little bit slumpy. I'll give it another 15 minutes. Nice. I'm supposed to cut this into 3/4 inch cubes, which I could do with a whisk, but that's a little bit smaller than what I'm going for. Let this heal for 5 minutes. So the first thing I'm going to do is get some of this whey off because there's no way I can stir this cheese with this much whey. This is one heck of a lot of cheese. All right, so I just washed off my arm, and now the next step is 20 minutes of stirring off heat. I'm just going to be going through here and taking up the curds, and if there's bigger ones, I'll just be popping them, breaking them apart a little bit. No need to be perfect. Remember, this could have probably been done with a whisk, and I didn't because I like a little bit bigger curds, so no need to be super finicky. There's something about making Gouda that is so soothing. I think because it's such a creamy cheese and it's so soft, it feels very gentle. So it's high yielding, it's not cooked down, it's not high temperatures. It's just a nice, soft, mild cheese. Lots more whey has come out. Some of them are still bigger, still breaking them up as I go, but they are totally soft and squishy. I'm gonna let these rest for 5 minutes so that the curds sink and the whey rises to the top, and then I'm going to take off 25% of the whey. Getting to the level of the curds. I don't want to kick them up too much, so now I'm going slower. Oh, I'm still getting some curds. I'm going to say it's 25%. It's probably maybe just 20%, but oh well. What happens next is you add hot water, and this is really hot water. It's supposed to be about 160 degrees. This is a half full of hot tap water, this little bucket. Adding boiling water to it, it's about 150. It's not precise. And I'm going to add this slowly over the course of about 10 minutes to bring it up to 101 degrees. Always first, you want to stir up the curds before you dump it in because they've kind of settled to the bottom, and you don't want to dump hot water onto the top. You want these to be circulating when you start adding the water. So I'm going to lift them all up and get them moving, and then you start adding water. And as soon as I put in a little bit of water, I kind of swish it around because I don't want it to sit in one spot and cook just certain curds. I want to get it distributed as quickly as possible. And I'm lifting the cold curds from the bottom and pulling down the warm ones, kind of in a circular looping motion. Ideally, when you're washing curds, you want the added water to match what you have taken out. So you can see my line is up here. So now I want to replace it with hot water. I'm right around 100 degrees right now. I am not going to replace it the whole way up because I don't want it to get that full. So I'm going to boil some more water and slowly add the last little bit of boiling water in. And then I'm just going to do my stir. Okay, we're going to say that's good enough. So now it's a 15 to 20 minute stir, just quietly stirring this as it cooks. You know what? I'm actually going to take off some of this whey really fast, so this is just a bit much. You can see the curds. They're a little bit more defined. They're crumbling apart when I pick them up. They feel like they're getting a little firmer, but they're still juicy and soft. There is a little bit of a rind on them, some of them. They're not completely juicy. There's not much of a rind. It tastes really good. Let's see how these do with the squeeze test. Oh yeah, they see how they splooch right out of my fingers? They're still pretty loose. So they're holding, but they feel loose to me. These definitely need more cook time. The curds are feeling a little bit firmer, harder, smaller, like they have more of a rind. They're still oozing out. Do you see that when I squeeze? Which means that they're not done based on what I've read. However, I think they're done. I just don't listen to rules, do I? The reason I'm doing that is because they're crumbling apart and also because I want this Gouda to be a moist Gouda. I do not want a dry, hard Gouda. They are staying, well, no, that just broke. Let me see if I squeeze it really hard. It's still popping out. Maybe it should be cooked more. I don't know. I think it's good. This is why. I don't know what this is why. I just don't know what I'm doing when I do cheese. I do. But I also don't. I guess I should have a pH meter, but I don't want a pH meter. Look at all that cheese. We'll let the curds sink to the bottom for 5 minutes. Just wetting the cheesecloth with whey. Pour slowly, please. Okay, stop. So now we're going to turn this into a mustard Gouda and add all these mustard seeds. They are slimy and feel like snot. How lovely. Yeah, they feel very slimy. I flipped it last night and this was what was underneath, and I realized all this blue mold is coming up on it. There's none on there. It had been sitting for a couple of days without flipping. It feels very clammy. It's been in the cold downstairs bedroom. Can you see that white that's popping up? That's getting all over. So I'm gonna take this light brush first and see how that works with dealing with the blue mold. You know how the fenugreek Gouda got some blue mold down in? My hunch is that the seeds that are open to the air get that. And then as the seeds dry, there's more air space and then the blue mold can get into the cheese. I'm thinking I may already have a little bit of an infiltration of blue mold. You can see some of these spots is cracking where the seeds are. These are clean. It just looks like mold has permeated them at one point. I can see little bits of blue, but it's not much. It's a little bit wet. I think I'm just gonna do that regularly because I like how that feels and I think it will keep it down. I figured out why it was wet. This Romano, which is dry salted and is still oozing, was up here. The mustard Gouda was on the bottom. See, it's soupy. I think it was dripping down and that's why it got wet. There's water on the bottom here. So I just reversed these two, let all that goopy sit down there and let the mustard seed Gouda be above that. This Gouda is getting mold on top. So we got to take care of this. I have decided to just vac-pack this. I think it'll be easier that way. I'm just taking off this blue. This brush has been really good. I really like it. And then I'm going to take some salt brine. Vinegar may be better. I'm not sure, but I'm just using the regular salt brine, giving it a quick rub down. And then typically you're supposed to let this air dry for a day. I'm not going to do that because I'm impatient. This cheese is already getting pretty hard in that cave. And so I feel like putting a little bit of moisture on and then rubbing it off is leaving it kind of like a clammy handshake. This smells good. So we're going to cut this and bag it. There you go. It smells like a fresh cheese. It's a little bit tangy, doesn't have much depth. It smells a little bit funky. And there we go. There's the mustard seed Gouda. I'm going to put this down in the cheese cave, age it for a couple more months, and hopefully it will be delicious. I am going to open that mustard seed Gouda today. There's a couple reasons I'm opening it early. Number one, I have the video and I want to get it finished so I can show it to you, and I need to taste the cheese before I do that. Number two, the bag is a little bit warbly, so I think it needs to be resealed. Number three, I just got back from kickboxing and I'm really hungry and I want to try a new cheese. Alrighty, it is still a firm seal, but right here, you see how that bubbles? I noticed that when I was flipping the cheese this morning down in the cave. It feels firm, but let's just check this. It smells lovely. There we go. It actually smells young. That's where the, oh, you know what? That's a little bit wet right there. I wonder if that's some of that wash is still on it. All right. Right off the bat, it's creamy, it breaks, it is not bendy at all. So the paste is not elastic. It is a little bit tangy, sharp, but not in a bad way. It's just a little bit sharper. I don't taste the mustard yet. I still don't taste the mustard. Okay, I felt the seeds pop, but they have absolutely no flavor. I'm chewing on the seeds. They're very soft and there's no flavor. Well, people, that's pointless. Why add mustard seed if there's no flavor? This feels almost more cheddary to me than it does a Gouda. Other Goudas are more creamy and more elastic, I think, and this is a little bit crumblier, not crumblier, but just has more of a cheddar paste and also a sharpness to it. Is that the mustard seed that's made that change happen? Or did I just mess up on this Gouda? I don't know. There's nothing offensive about it, I don't think. It's just pointless. Like, if you're gonna add fenugreek to cheese, it makes it taste like maple, and that's exciting. Or if you add cumin to cheese, it makes it taste like the Southwest. That's exciting. If you're gonna add black pepper, it makes it spicy. This isn't really adding anything except, I guess, a look. And maybe it changed the texture a little bit and made it more cheddary. But there's no mustard tang. I don't get all those Danish, Netherlands people. If they think this is a pop of flavor, then they are seriously deprived of flavor. They must be eating like a pure white bland diet all the time to think that mustard seeds to cheese adds flavor. It doesn't. Okay, I'm being a little bit sarcastic. I don't actually mean that. You know I'm joking. You know how the seeds were snotty when I added them to the cheese? I wonder if that is what changed the texture of this paste. I'll eat it with crackers for lunch and I'll be very happy. I have people coming here tomorrow who are going to see the cheese production, and I'm going to share this with them and see what their take is on it. Maybe as other people taste it, my perspectives will be expanded because I will learn that this is more than what I think it is right now. 2 days ago, I served the mustard seed Gouda to a bunch of people that came over to learn about cheese making. I asked them, what do you think about this? The feedback I got was, this is good. It's a little bit mild. It's yummy. They ate a whole bunch of it. I have also learned some people have very strong reactions to it, like they hate it because it has such a strong mustard flavor. I don't know. You'll have to try it and see what you think for yourself, because you might love it or you might think it's stupid. And that's all I have to say about that.